I'm going to be a little honest with you up front because this is not going to be your average prediction video because I'm not predicting the outcome of the game for Auburn versus Georgia. What I want to look at is the complete and utter chaos that could ensue if Auburn does, in fact, beat Georgia. So for the purpose of this video, we're going to pretend like Auburn beats Georgia because I don't think Auburn fans have fully thought about how chaotic this could be if Bryan Harsin goes into Athens, Georgia and pulls out a victory. First of all, we have to establish is this even a possibility? It is. They gave up 22 points to Kent State. Georgia gave up 22 points to Mizzou. So therefore, it is in the realm of possibility. So let's talk about it just a little bit. So Bryan Harsin, he's a little bit on the hot seat right now, I'll have to say. There's people all over the place calling for his head, calling for him to be fired. I've said it. I've made a video or two saying that. As far as my stance outside of a rant, I don't know. I go back and forth, but ultimately I think if you look at everything that's happening, he's probably going to get fired. So we're going to move on from that. I'm not saying I want him fired. I'm saying it's more than likely going to happen. Let's just be honest with ourselves. However, it's not a done deal yet. And so think about what will happen if Coach Harsin takes his Auburn Tigers down to Athens, Georgia, or up or over to Athens, Georgia, and pulls out a victory. In case you did not know, the last time Auburn won in Athens, Georgia was 2005. So if Bryan Harsin goes to Georgia, pulls out a victory for the first time in 17 years in Athens, Georgia, after last year getting Auburn the first victory in like 22 years in Baton Rouge, that's going to be a pretty hard coach to fire. Think about that. He breaks 2 long winning droughts at 2 opposing stadiums. How are you going to fire the guy? And especially this year. Right now he's got 2 losses, one to LSU, one to Penn State. So if he goes into Athens and pulls out a victory, are they going to fire him in the end zone for beating Georgia? I doubt it. Are they even going to be able to fire him if he beats Georgia this year? The number 1 or number 2 team, depending on who you ask. I don't think they can. I think that if Coach Harsin goes in and gets a victory, that is the way that he secures his job for the future, or at least the next year. Because I don't see a path, I don't see a way that you can have a coach break a losing streak like that and fire him, regardless of what happens the rest of the season, unless something just crazy happens. But if he somehow goes in Athens and gets a win, I think he's safe. That's my personal thoughts. And so I want you to think about the chaos that would ensue from this. It would be absolutely chaotic across the college football world. Absolute chaos. You would have Georgia losing to Auburn, who has really inarguably, is that a word? Inarguably, it is today, looked at best inconsistent. And you could say the same thing about Georgia. They looked really invincible at the start of this season. And then the past 2 weeks have looked very, very beatable. But regardless, if Auburn goes in and gets the win in Athens, it is going to be absolute chaos in college football. And if you don't know this about me, my favorite team is Auburn. My second favorite team in college football is Team Chaos. Love Team Chaos. And Team Chaos, rears their head every now and then, usually at least every other week. And if Auburn is not winning, it's fun to see what Team Chaos is doing across the college football landscape. And in this situation, we could have both. We could have an Auburn victory and a victory for Team Chaos. So, I want Auburn to win no matter what, no matter who the coach is. So I want Auburn to win. Let me make that very clear. But on top of it, I really want to win for Team Chaos. I really do. So I would love nothing more than for Auburn and Brian Harsin to go in, get the W, and then send the entire college football world into chaos, wondering what on earth is going to happen next. Because that's just going to be a lot of fun as a fan to watch. I'm thrilled at the thought of that even possibly happening. But two, what are you going to do? What's going to happen? What are the boosters, the administration? What are you going to do if Brian Harsin breaks the streak? Is it likely to happen? No, I don't think it's likely to happen. But is it possible? Absolutely. I think it's 100% a possibility. And that is because this is a wounded, a flawed Georgia team, and they are not unbeatable. They are not unbeatable at all. And so this is a real possibility. But getting back to my original point, I am cheering for Auburn, and I am cheering for Team Chaos. And what would be even more chaotic is if it was a decisive win for Auburn. If Auburn won by 10 points, what's going to happen then? What will happen? Because getting back to what I said, I don't think you can do anything to Brian Harsin at that point. And so that's what I'm hoping will happen. I want Auburn to go in, get the victory, and for everybody to start scrambling to figure out what to do. Like I said, this is not a normal prediction video. I'm not predicting what will happen with the game. I'm more predicting what will happen or wondering what will happen if Auburn goes in and gets the win. So now I want to know your thoughts. Tell me, what do you think? You can give me your prediction. What do you think will happen in this game? There's a couple things I want to know. One, who do you think will win? So I want to hear who you think will win outright. You think it's going to be Auburn, or do you think it's going to be Georgia? Number two, I've asked this previously I think I asked on a poll. I want to know, how many points do you think Auburn will score in the second half? We've had a big problem scoring points in the second half for quite a while versus Power 5 teams. Going back, I think the past 8 games, we've not scored more than 6. So do you think Auburn will score more than 6, less than 6, exactly 6? What do you think Auburn's going to do in the point-scoring game in the second half? And then finally, I guess my final question revolves around this entire premise for this video. And that is, if Brian Harsin is able to go into Georgia, Athens, Georgia, and pull out a victory, get the win for the first time since 2005 in Athens, Georgia, what will happen? What do you think will happen with the sports writers or people like me making YouTube videos? What's going to happen? What do you think will happen with Coach Harsin, the coaching staff, the administration? How do you think this is going to change the college football landscape, or at least the conversation around Auburn and Brian Harsin? Let me know all that in the comments below. Go ahead and do me a favor and hit like on this video, because I want a lot of people to see this one. And also, please subscribe to this channel if you've not already done so. Thank you guys for watching this one. I had fun making this one. I hope you enjoyed it as well, and I will see you in the next one.